weekly reset and maybe get a little something else done while we're at it. So let me put my battery pack here, finish setting them alive, and we'll get at it. All right. Alright, so I am going to be cleaning up the shop. Hey makers, Murphy, I'm going to be cleaning up the shop, so, grab a cup of coffee. That's about how it's going to work. Hey, can you all hear me? Hey, back road. Oh, no, absolutely not, Liam. I just, it's hard to tell from the text, but I absolutely appreciate your point. It's just right now, Lightburn isn't in my budget, and things are about to get a little tighter than normal, so we'll see how that goes. But so I took on a long-term substitute teaching gig, and I need it to be a little more regular for a while, so I took on that long-term gig, and it's gonna cut into some of my shop time, and so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to schedule that, but I need to be there. I had a teacher leave on relatively short notice, so I'm stepping in, stepping up. Not that I mind. I like substitute teaching. Generally, the scenery changes, and I seem to have trouble settling, and it's been that way since I left the service. So I am trying to work the woodworking full time, trying to work the substitute teaching full time, and so it's a lot, but I thrive in chaos, which is why my shop is not clean all the time. thank you all for joining me as I try and get this going. Not sure how interesting it ever is to watch somebody else clean up their own mess. But there are tons of cleaning channels on YouTube that seem to thrive in that little niche. All right, you can see me. Hey, Professor Rusty, how you doing? Liam, I plan to check that out. But I'm in the middle of 3 other full-time things too. But yeah, light burn is a total priority. But before I get that 30-day trial, I want to actually have something worth the trouble of learning a new software, which I am sure sounds counterproductive to almost everybody, but that's how my brain works. See, it even does occasionally. There we go. It's amazing how many things get out of place when you don't put anything away. Well, needs a little sanding here and there, but hey, the drawer goes in. That puts us ahead. It was very disheartening when I put this support frame together, let it dry for 24 hours, and then slid the drawer in there and the whole thing collapsed. So you may or may not see that in a video. I think syllables were, and there may or may not have been the urge to throw things. Because I'm bad about ignoring the chat. Rusty, we all need to clean our shop. Just whether or not we actually do. Mine has needed it for a long time, but I have not taken the time to actually do it. All right, so cabinet carcass. Can go down here for a minute. Drawer can go down here for a minute. Right. I did organize all the small drawers in the hardware cabinet, got them alphabetized. I haven't done the bins yet. My daughter doesn't want to be on camera. She's usually the one that helps me clean up. She knows that Dad has got some glue. Melamine from the Restore. Well, there are two of you who are hanging out. I appreciate your joining me. I saw somebody was online doing a live while they were cleaning. They were making pretty good time at it. I guess like everybody else, I would rather be doing the working instead of the cleaning. So I decided to try that because I knew if I wasn't trying to move the ball forward somewhere, either with a live on my channel or working on a project, then I was not going to be productive today. Tomorrow is going to be shot trying to get everything organized for my first official day as those sixth graders long-term sub. So I'm trying to pack it in today. Thanks, Chipotle, for my work service. That or doesn't work there anymore. I'd have a couple more of these. They actually make they're like a vinyl. They actually make a pretty good whiteboard, cutting mat, work surface, and glue does stick to it, but it's not so bad. All right, that part done. So those of you who offer free plans for projects, where do you host your free plans? Do you have like a Dropbox, or do you use like Instructables? I wrote my first Instructable, I think it was 2012 or 2013. And I think that website goes into and out of favor with creators periodically. And what I liked about it was I hosted the project, or, uploaded the project. I never thought any more about it. And then I got an email that it had been selected and I got a free upgrade for an entire quarter. I mean, it's a free website, but if you do have the paid membership, then you get a few perks. I never subscribed to that, but they still honored that, which was nice. And Instructables was really, really big before YouTube got gigantically huge. And it's one of those places where if you're kind of handy and you need some plans or a project or see what other interesting things creative people are doing, you know, you can find that stuff. And unlike YouTube, you can upload. Shop vac is what I want. So I'm going to turn off the microphone for a minute and just go section by section as I clean. I'll be into and out of communication. Oh, well, helps if you get the cord for the right tool. All right. All right, back in a minute, guys. So all of you creative types, my miter saw, like everybody else's, has a tendency to put a little dust in the dust bag and a whole lot of dust everywhere else. And that's, you know, wood chips and shavings and all that happy jazz. So I noticed on a couple of channels, they have like, I'm assuming it's an enclosed box behind the saw, and then they're made a shroud either out of a like a storage tub lid or some sort of thing like that. Anybody try that? Does it do any good whatsoever? Not that I mind. I mean, you could say my pegboard here is poorly placed, but it's stuff that I use regularly and don't want stashed, if that makes any sense. Because if the further I have to go from my work, the more it slows me down, and I find that very annoying. So one of my things as I am setting up, I'm trying to have tool-specific storage either on the tool stand or within arm's reach. All right, so Need to move some things. Yes, I am putting dusty stuff here so that I can clean the surface of the table and then put things away on a clean surface. It may seem counterintuitive. Don't worry. It's efficiency. You just may not be used to it. All right. Am I neglecting the chat again? Hey, I am neglecting the chat. Hey, Raja, how you doing? Oh, we're down to 2 again? Cool. Wonder who's still watching. If you're around, I appreciate you. If you're just popping in to smash that like button and then going off to do your own thing, I'm good with that too. Thank you so much. But instructions for the thin rip jig. That goes down here in the drawer with all of these little things. I mean, they're not good for anything except spread and glue, but they are good for that. So these little trimmings that you can practically see through, they're good for spreading glue in tight places. Are not really good for anything else, but there's a nickel worth of walnut there. Just think, you might have to patch something with that nickel's worth of walnut. So I actually have a little box, or had a little box that I put all of these in. So it looks like it's time to start a new little box because we had a all right, there's for my scraps. I wanted to show you these things. This is a drink container from, I think this one came from Sonic. But these things, this is great. I have one down here that has all of my cans of Finish in it. I have another one that I keep a thing of my board conditioner in, and some rags, and this scratch cover stuff from Old English. Like if you are making something out of pine and you're out of pre-stained conditioner and you want a walnut finish, this is the ticket. It makes a nice dark finish. It, like, now granted, it's not durable, but this will give you a finish. And if you're just going to put oil on it, it's going to look fine. It is not fancy, but it works. And if most of the stuff you do is around home stuff, I wouldn't even worry about it. But there again, that's just me. Working and listening. Rusty, I hope you're hard of hearing because I'm not saying anything important. But it's all stuff. I'll explain some of this stuff later. I'm going to pop off of this audio for a minute and run my vac for a minute. All right, here we go. Clorox wipes. Cover on this side is old piece of Formica or something like countertop veneer, fiber reinforced something or other, but it works. And despite the fact that the glue does stick to it, you can usually scrape it off with a card scraper. And I would imagine when I sprayed the dry lube on the table saw top, if I sprayed this too and then wiped it down, there would still be enough residual that the glue wouldn't stick to it. But if I did all the stuff I ought to do, I probably wouldn't get anything else done. Now, if I was a dusting brush, where would I be? Well, there's one, but it's not the one that fits. There's that one. Here's this one. Get in there. So, stick this in here for now. Lay that right there for now, as we're not gonna play ball. Hey, Mike. Same old stuff, man. Just cleaning the shop. getting to the point where if my mom were to come in here, I'd be grounded for a week. I'm 54. What's that tell you? Got some of these cord wranglers, but they're not quite the right size and strength for these large power cords. They're a little on the small side. And so here we go, raising the planter. Might as well dust that out while I'm here. All right. Let's see, are we? Alright, that must be dead. Alright, well, you're probably going to have to suffer in silence a while because this thing is dead. Yep. Sorry about that. Only one still watching. Oh, Mike, you just don't even want to know. This old laptop right here that I was using for my 3018 CNC and this little laser, and neither one are big machines. It's, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old. It takes about an hour to boot up. I mean, you could walk the G code faster, but it does work. But I've got new computers. Hey, old Path. Alan, what's going on? You caught me cleaning up the shop. Don't look around. About 3 weeks past time for the weekly reset. But the coffee's good. Ray and Sandy. Sorry I don't have a interesting project for you this week. I'm just cleaning. Got a video coming out tomorrow, shows me gluing up these spoon blanks, spatula blanks. I need to get 10 of them made, and not really sure on how the whole carving is going to go. I have a burr for my grinder, but I don't have enough time between here and Christmas to do them by hand, so that'll be an adventure. We like an adventure. Sure this is up for. Yep. Alrighty. And that's not quite enough to call a 6/4, but it's getting close. And that's a 7/4. All of those are 3s, or one piece is 4/4. All right, make that 2 pieces. So that was the contents of the trash can at the hardwood store yesterday. Stuff I bought is here. I've got 8-quarter maple, 8-quarter cherry, 8-quarter walnut, and then I've got 2 little 4-quarter walnut 2-pack. I got 3 pieces of 1/2-inch poplar and these 2 4-quarter red oak. A cutting board repair that I did has turned into an order for a butcher's block and 3 serving trays. So some learning experience coming my way. Oh, it's sorry, Alan. It's 12 by 24. It's a 1-car garage. Big door, of course, down there, and then the man door here at the end of the freezers. The 2 of them together take up, come out from a wall just like right at 36 inches, and then they come up this way. It's 96 inches from the wall to the door frame. So I'd like to complain about the freezers, but I'd be the one carrying one or both of them to the basement, so I'm not saying a word. No problem, Ray. My microphone's discharged, so you couldn't hear me anyway if I was more than this far away. Just trying to get cleaned up before next week comes. I guess you could say we're undeterred by organization. Well, Alan, if it makes you feel any better, my very first shop ever was 4 foot by 8 foot. That was the size of our furnace room in the old house. Yeah, Ray. Cleaning day. About 3 weeks past due. I have in my cleaning list, I have a shop reset day for every Sunday afternoon, but things have been a little hectic, so we're trying not to do that. Trying to clean as we go, and it just hadn't been happening, so I got to get on it. I'm going to cut this off and go have something to eat and then finish up because I got school prep. I took a long-term substitute teaching job, and so I've got lesson plans to get together and make sure that I have all my bases covered because I hate to show up and feel disorganized. So, you all take care and have a good week. If you haven't, please smash the like button. If you have, thank you very much.